Hello and welcome to my dear students. I welcome you all, my dear second standard students, to today's English class. This is Rohan sir from Mahdi English Medium School. So students, one more time I have brought an interesting lesson of English for you, an interesting revision lectures for you. But before that, I hope that you have watched the previous video lecture and you have also enjoyed it, because the previous video lecture was all of the revision and it was a very good opportunity for the one who was not watching the lectures from the beginning of the video lectures. Moreover, for those who were not watching the videos, it was good also for those who were having a certain doubt in few lessons and in few parts of the lessons, I can say in the few paragraphs. They were again and again giving me the feedback of what doubts they were having. So for this video is for two reasons: for those who were not watching the video lecture from the starting, and second, for those who were having the doubts. Moreover, we have added something new in the lecture. So if you have watched the previous video lecture, you know that what have we added. So let's just quickly have the look. So what are we going to do today? Today we are going to do the revision of the lesson along with the counter questions. Now what is counter question? You all know that we did in the previous lecture the lesson explanation with counter questions round. Counter question means the questions which I'll ask you in between the explanation. At any point of the time, I'll just stop explaining and I'll just ask you the question, the answer for which I'll give you on the spot. Yes, but what is the meaning of question? And when I'll ask you the question, you have to shout the answers at your home. Feel free to shout that, because as in the class when you are there and I'm just asking you the questions from the board, you give me the answers by standing up or by raising your hand. So I am not there at your places. Everywhere it is not possible for me to be there in front of you. So in this lecture you are free to shout the answers. I'll give you 1 to 2 seconds and then I'll give you the correct answer too. So that is the counter question. So lesson 1 and lesson 2 we are going to do today. Why lesson 1? Because lesson 1, 90% we have finished in the previous lecture, whereas 10% was left. And lesson 2 we are going to start today, as much as we will finish in the limited time. So let's get started. So this is the page of lesson 1 textbook in front of you, and yesterday we started with the explanation of the name of the lesson itself. So I hope that you should now understand, by now you should understand that what is the meaning of 1-inch warrior. So now in yesterday's lecture we saw that the man and the woman were all alone at their home. They were not enjoying their lives. They wanted something interesting to happen in their life. Secondly, they were having no one at their home other than the man and the woman itself. So they prayed to God that they wanted to have a child, and surely the Lord granted their wish, and they were having a child, a baby boy. Now the complication was the baby boy was very much tiny. Now if you can see that the baby boy, when he grew up, he had a wish to go to the city, to earn the money, to earn the goodwill, everything in the city as they were living in the village. So the parents granted, the parents said, sure, you can go to city. And then in this picture if you can see that his father is waving him. They have come here to see of him, and the father gifted him a sword made up of sewing needle. I told you yesterday also, if you haven't seen sewing needle, you can just ask your grandmother or your mother. They will show you how the sewing needle looks like. Moreover, the mother, boy's mother, Ishu was his mother, gave him a soup bowl which he used as a boat. If you can see in the picture, this is a soup bowl. Exactly, this is a soup bowl which he used as a boat. So as and when he reached to the city, he first went to Lord Sanjo's house. because everything before coming to the city, he inquired everything about Lord Sanjo, how great master he was, how great house he was having, where exactly the house is located. Every single thing the boy inquired about the Lord Sanjo. So now when he met Lord Sanjo, if you can see in this picture, I already explained you that when Ishubosi tapped the gate, when the Lord Sanjo came out of the gate, Lord Sanjo was not able to see anyone. Why so? Because Lord Sanjo was just looking straight forward, because he never imagined, he never even thought that a little tiny boy would meet him. So he needs to look down. So Lord Sanjo was just looking straight here and there onto the gate. He was able to look no one. He was able to find no one. So at that point, Ishubosi called him. Ishubosi said that he was right down there near the feet of Lord Sanjo. And then Lord Sanjo further, he first underestimated Ishubosi, as Ishubosi was very tiny. So Lord Sanjo said that, "You little tiny boy, how can you help me?" So at that spot, Ishubosi proved himself. How did he prove? He proved by driving off the mosquito near who was flying near the ears of Lord Sanjo. If you can see Ishubosi holding the sword, which is nothing but a sewing needle, he proved himself that he can do anything, and even the tiny things are of great importance. So do not underestimate anyone. By this, Ishubosi proved himself, and master was very much impressed. He also gave the duty of looking after the Princess Sanjo to Ishubosi. With this, we ended up reading this paragraph, if you remember, my dear students. So the last scene which we discussed in the last lecture was, one day when the princess was going to the temple, a giant tried to carry her away. Now, one day, Princess Sanjo was having the habit of visiting the temple daily. She prayed there, she went there daily. So one day when they were on their way to temple, as you know that now Ishubosi is always there with Princess Sanjo, as it was an order of Lord Sanjo to be with her and to take care of her, to look after the Princess Sanjo, and to keep her away of every unavoidable circumstances, which is the difficult times. So in difficult times always Ishubosi used to be there with Princess Sanjo. So now the story starts with one day when Princess Sanjo was on her way to temple. The giant, the monster, came on their way, and he wanted to take her away. At least in short, he wanted to kidnap her. Now, leave the princess or else. This is what the Ishubosi warned the giant. Ishubosi tried to threaten the giant, but you know, giant, how ferocious and how dangerous the giant is. Look at the picture. He is having 3 eyes and a teeth. My God, do you even believe that Ishubosi, such a tiny fellow, can fight with a giant, and just with this needle? So the giant said, "You little man trying to scare me, let me swallow you." So this is what the giant said, that he wanted to gobble up, he wanted to just eat Ishubosi with a one bite. Without chewing, he could even digest him. This is what the monster replied. So now the story is, intelligent Ishubosi kept poking the giant with his little sword, which was made of sewing needle. So now Ishubosi, he was very intelligent, though he was tiny. Ishubosi started poking the needle, started poking the sword into the mouth of giant, as giant tried to gobble. As giant put the Ishubosi inside the mouth, Ishubosi started poking, started beating the needle and the sword he was having continuously on his tongue, in his throat everywhere. Throat means the portion from where the food goes inside the stomach. So Ishubosi, without getting afraid, he used his mind and he started beating the monster with his needle. And you can see how the expression of the giant, Oh, ah, ouch, stop it. So this is what the giant was speaking as he was getting hurt. The giant spat Ishubosi out and ran away. But he left the magical hammer behind. So now students, the twist in the story is Ishubosi, when he started beating the needle, when he started poking the needle inside the mouth of giant got hurt and he spat out. He threw out the Ishubosi from his mouth. To spat means to something throw away from the mouth, out of the mouth. So, but he left his magical hammer behind. But giant left magical hammer behind. But as he was in hurry, he wanted to run away from there because he was now afraid from tiny Ishubosi. So let's see what happened when the giant left hammer. The princess took the hammer, she hit it on the ground, and something magical happened. I am not tiny anymore. These are the words of Ishubosi. You can see Ishubosi. He is even a bit, heighted than Princess Sanjo now, which otherwise he was of just 1 inch. So you can see the golden magical hammer in the hands of Princess Sanjo. So Princess Sanjo was really very happy looking onto the Ishubosi, who was now no more of 1 inch. Ishubosi and the Princess Sanjo were soon married. So they both married with the permission of Lord Sanjo, as Lord Sanjo again heard one more story of, and moreover this was one more story which Ishubosi proved himself as a brave. So obviously Lord Sanjo was going to get impressed, and Lord Sanjo was having faith in Ishubosi that some way or some time he is going to prove himself as a brave. And the missing thing was his height, which was now no more as a negative point, because he grew his height by defeating the giant. He got this magical hammer which helped him to grow his height. So they both married, princess and the Ishubosi, and Ishubosi became a well-known samurai. So now students, one counter question for you is, just listen the question very carefully. With what did the Ishubosi poke the giant? I repeat my question. With what does the Ishubosi poked the giant? I hope you are shouting the answers at your home. Yes, the correct answer is with his tiny sword. So repeat the answer after me, my dear students. Ishubosi poked the giant with tiny little sword. One more time, please repeat it after me. Ishubosi poked the giant with tiny little sword. And now one more counter question for you. With the help of what did Ishubosi grew his height? I repeat my question. With the help of what did Ishubosi grew his height? I hope you are shouting the answers at the home if you know the answer, and the correct answer is magical hammer. So I want you to repeat the answers after me, my dear student. The second counter question, the answer for the second counter question is magical hammer. Okay, now repeat after me. With the help of magical hammer, Ishubosi grew his height. One more time, please repeat it after me. With the help of magical hammer, Ishubosi grew his height. So that is the end of the story. So I hope you enjoyed this story, and now let us move on to the second lesson, that is lesson number 3, because exactly number 2 is poem in your textbook. So lesson number 2 means chapter number 3 in your textbook. And here, if you can see, my dear students, is chapter number 3. Now this chapter is again based on fantasy. So students, I must say that you are very much lucky. You are lucky enough to get 2 chapters which are based on fantasy. Why did I say so? because fantasy means imagination. So if I explain you the story and you can go in your imagination world, there is nothing better than that. So imagination has no limit, correct? You can imagine if you want whatever the characters is there within the story, whatever place, the locations are there, so that you can enjoy the story as and when I explain you. So basically we are going to start with chapter number 3, revision. Here again I am going to ask you the counter question at the end of every 2 or 3 paragraphs. First of all, what is the name of the chapter? Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack is the name of a boy and beanstalk is a long plant which grew up till the height of the sky. So this is the story, the Jack and the Beanstalk. Beanstalk is obviously planted with the help of bean seeds. So now let's see what is the connection of the young boy Jack with the beanstalk. Here is the reading part of the story. Once upon a time there lived a poor woman. She had a son named Jack and a cow named Milky White. The cows gave milk every morning, which Jack carried to the market to sell. But one morning Milky White gave no milk. Now here the story begins with, so first you need to understand this reading first paragraph. So the paragraph begins with the introduction of a poor woman. So obviously she was a woman, she was having no husband, her husband was maybe no more. So she was only one to look after her child. So here if you can see, my dear students, it is clearly said that she was having only 2 belongings with her. One is her son named Jack. So now you know who is Jack. Jack is the son of a poor woman. And another belonging was a cow. The name of the cow was Milky White. So cow, basically they were having only one source of income at their house was Milky White. So Milky White used to give the milk, obviously cow gives the milk, and they used to sell that milk in the market and earn, and this way they used to sustain their life, this way they used to survive. As they were very much poor, so this was the only source of income in their house, the Milky White, which was the name of the cow. So you need to remember the name of the cow and the son, which is obviously Jack. So now the scene is like, one day it happened so that Milky White did not give the milk. So sad for them, as these two poor people were only having the cow like to earn the money. So now let's see what happened when the cow stopped giving the milk. Or exactly, we should not say that a cow stopped giving the milk. It happened only one day such that the cow did not give the milk. They had no money and no food in the house. Go and sell the cow, she said. On his way Jack met an old man. So now what happened? As on that particular day when the cow did not give milk, not even a little amount, what happened? They were having no money and no food. How will they survive? Actually, Jack's mother was really very much tensed. Because of their poverty, it was becoming hard for them to survive, to eat food, to bring food. It was not possible for them. So even on that day, the only source, the cow who gave the milk, stopped giving the milk. So immediately Jack's mother commanded him to go and sell the cow in the market. So she thought that at least they would get the amount of money to survive for 8 to 10 days. So when Jack was going towards the market, so on his way he met an old man. "Good morning, Jack," he said. Jack wondered how he knew his name. So when Jack saw an old man wished good morning to Jack. And furthermore, an old man wished him, calling out his name. So obviously, students, when for the first time someone meets you for the first time, they might not be knowing your name. So Jack was startled, he was shocked that okay, this old man is there, he is wishing me, but how come he knew my name? Where are you going? Said the man. Further, an old man asked to Jack that where he was going. He inquired. Jack replied, I am going to market to sell our cow. So this is what the reply of Jack was, as he was obviously going to market to sell his cow, sell his beautiful cow actually. So, well, I can take your cow, said the man. So now the man said that he wanted the cow, he can buy his cow. Well, I can buy your cow, said the man, and then, but I can only give you these 5 bean seeds for your cow, he added. So further he said that the amount which he can pay is only 5 bean seeds. If you can see in this picture, my dear children, Jack is holding the cow and the old man with a white beard and white hair, he is offering 5 bean seeds. It is there right in his hands. So just imagine, students, such a beautiful cow who can even bring a lot of money to the Jack. Will Jack accept just 5 bean seeds in exchange of cow? And do you think if he accepts these 5 bean seeds, his mother will become happy? Will they be able to survive with the 5 bean seeds? No, they will not be able to survive, certainly. So let's see what happens in the story. Before that, I would like to ask you counter question on the basis of this page. Be ready to listen to my question and shout the answers if you know the answer. So my dear students, the first question is, what was the name of Jack's cow? I repeat the question for you. Listen to me carefully. What was the name of Jack's cow? So, yes, if you have given the answer milky white, you are absolutely right. Now repeat the sentence after me. The name of Jack's cow was milky white. Repeat one more time. The name of Jack's cow was milky white. I hope you now you will remember this. Okay, so now the second counter question is, what did the old man offer to Jack in exchange of cow? I will repeat the question one more time so that you can understand the question. You must understand the question. What did the old man offer Jack in exchange of cow? Okay. By now, if you know the answer, I hope you have shouted aloud the answers at your home. So the correct answer is 5 bean seeds. Okay. Now repeat the sentence after me. The old man offered 5 bean seeds in exchange of cow. Repeat one more time. The old man offered 5 bean seeds in exchange of cow. Now let's see what happened. Did Jack accept the 5 bean seeds or not? What will I do with these? Asked Jack. So Jack asked to an old man that what will he do if he accepts the 5 bean seeds? So in exchange of cow, is he getting the 5 bean seeds? It should be of some use. If you plant them overnight, by morning they will grow and reach up to the sky. So this is what the old man replied. This is how the old man replied. The old man said that if you plant these bean seeds Overnight means within a night, within one night, within a time of one night, these seeds are going to grow higher and higher up till it reach up to the sky. So if you can see that beanstalk is here, if it grows up to the sky, it is called the beanstalk. So Jack took the bean seeds and went home happily. Now you know, children, small boy and a girl, even the small boy like you and small girls like you, if we offer you a chocolate or a wafer or the biscuit which is of which comes in your choice, you accept it easily. So small children have nothing to do with money, they need the things which are of their interest. Similarly, when Jack was told that the seeds are magical and then it will grow overnight, he was certainly very happy, and with those bean seeds he went home happily. Now he gave them to his mother. Now just imagine, in exchange of cow, he accepted the seeds, and will his mother be happy? No, I don't think so. Jack's mother will be happy. Now let's see what happens next. What? Shouted Jack's mother. How can we live on 5 bean seeds? She threw the seeds out of the window. Sadly, Jack went to his little room and went off to sleep. So now, when Jack happily handed over the 5 bean seeds in the hand of his mother was very much disappointed. She was expecting something more. She was expecting a whole lot of money. But what did she saw? She only saw 5 bean seeds. Just imagine how disappointed she will be. And even she was very much angry because they were having nothing to eat and they were having no money at their place. So, unfortunately, Jack disappointed his mother, and when the mother shouted and threw the bean seeds out of the window, Jack went to his room, and without having his dinner, without having his meal, he went to sleep in his little bedroom. The next morning, Jack saw something strange from his window. The beans had sprung up into a big beanstalk which went up and up till it reached the sky. So now what happened, students? As per the promise of the old man, Jack saw something interesting, something unusual. Strange means unusual, which he had never seen in his lifetime till the date. So he saw a beanstalk. Sprung up means it grew up. A beanstalk means a long plant of beans grew because of the bean seeds. If you can see, it starts right from the here and it ends up and up to the sky. So this is what the old man promised Jack, isn't it so? So now Jack was really very happy. He was really happy. So now, students, before moving forward, I'd like to ask you 2 counter questions, and with that we will end this lecture for today, and we will continue for sure in the next lecture. So my question is, what did the Jack handed over to his mother after returning home? I repeat my question. What did the Jack handed over to his mother when he returned home? Yes, many of you have shouted the answers, I know. If your answer was 5 bean seeds, you are absolutely right. So repeat the sentence after me, my dear students. Jack handed over 5 bean seeds to his mother. Repeat one more time. Jack handed over 5 bean seeds to his mother. Okay? Now the second counter question is, What did Jack see next morning? I repeat my question. What did Jack see next morning? Okay, I hope that you are shouting the answers at your home, student. Okay, the correct answer is beanstalk. Now you have to repeat after me. Jack saw a beanstalk. Jack saw a beanstalk next morning. Repeat one more time. Jack saw a beanstalk next morning. Okay, with this, students, I end my today's lecture, and I promise that I'll come with the interesting, and we will continue the interesting lecture in the next video lecture. Till then, take care, goodbye, and please use sanitizers and mask while you go out. Goodbye.